Get it, buddy. Good morning, everyone. Today is, we're doing week 4 of our habit changing course, and so I hope you're doing well. I'm curious if you're watching this live with me, how has the challenge been going? Have you, so the first week we were drinking more water, and we set a goal of how much water you want to drink. How's the water going? Has that fallen off, or have you been able to maintain it? Then the second one was week 2, we focused on being present, getting out of social media a little bit more, getting into the real world a little bit more. When it's time to eat, just eat. You know, when you sit down when you eat out of the refrigerator, pull up a chair, right? Yeah, so that was week 2. And how has that gone? Have you been able to maintain that? Week 3, which was last week, our goal was to focus on building your meals around more whole food. Not to the exclusion of anything, but focusing on eating more whole foods and having a piece of fruit every day and a vegetable with every meal. How did that go last week? Hopefully it went well. I can say that I did not I did an excellent job on the fruit. I happen to have a bowl of fruit that somebody brought over because I can't cook. And so it's sitting there and it's like, oh yeah, I can just eat this. I will remember to eat this. And so, yeah, I've eaten my piece of fruit every day. Vegetables, not so much. And I'm usually killer good at vegetables, but because I can't cook and I can't open cans, I'm sitting there staring at them in my pantry going, I love green beans. I'd like to eat those. I can't open it. So I had someone come over last night, and she actually opened a bunch of cans of green beans, put them in the fridge. So now I can actually eat them. So excuse? Probably, but I think that's a valid one. So I'm curious. Let's see if I can find a way to look at the chat here, if there's any chats. So yeah. How did it go with eating vegetables last week with every meal? I mean, that's a tall order. Honestly, because this is a habit-changing course, and you're doing one habit a week, and now we've built on 4 habits. If you just start out with one habit, or one vegetable a meal, not a meal, words, man, one vegetable a day. So dinner's easy. Okay, then add it to lunch, and then or maybe breakfast. Maybe you love omelets. Maybe I know somebody who just adores spinach. They saute spinach with their eggs and onions and every morning, and that's 2 vegetables right there. Some people love to snack on broccoli with ranch dressing, of course. But you know, I mean, there's a couple different ways, and I'm a big fan. Some people love celery with peanut butter. Those veggie trays are super easy to grab, and then you can just add a couple to your sandwich or whatever. So it's not always as difficult as it sounds. It's difficult to wrap your brain around it because it's not as common, right? So I'm curious how it's been going for you. I hope you're chatting away in the group. I haven't looked, apologies. But yeah, so I'm curious on how the whole week is going for you. And today, this week, we are in week, I can't believe we're in week, no, this is week 4. Yeah, sorry, we've already done 3 weeks. So this is week 4. Yeah, and this one is a really important one. So last one, the being present it's kind of hard to do. It can be really hard to do. Drinking the water, adding the vegetables, eating a piece of fruit, being present when it's time to eat, just eat. Just eat, you know. It's how does that make you feel? So we're tuning into our hunger cues. We're paying attention to how, do we like the food we're eating? Is it satisfying what we want? Are we happy with it? Do you want to finish it? And that's what this week is all about. So now that you're actually noticing when you're hungry, you're eating when you're hungry. Right? So we're going to start cluing into, are you actually hungry? And there's no shame here. This is all just like, I had no idea, right? This is kind of a fun experiment, or it should be a fun experiment. So, yeah, Ricardo, send me some tacos. Absolutely. So, I love tacos. Oh, and then you can put lettuce on them and tomatoes. I know tomatoes are a fruit, but that's my fruit veggie right there, right? There you go. So, this week, our week 4 is eat whatever you want. And I know that sounds crazy, being in a habit-changing course about changing our relationship with food, around exercise, about falling off the New Year's resolution diet, whatnot. No. Eat whatever you really want. Do you really want a cupcake? Frickin' eat a cupcake. Do you really want that piece of chocolate? And this week, so there's several different guides this week. There's a guide in the guide. In the guide, there's several different things that you can go through. So as you're looking at these, eat whatever you really want. So make sure you go read the article that's in the very first guide. Guide 5, week 4. Tells you everything you need to know. So this kind of takes a lot of courage here, because like, what's your forbidden food? The food you love, but you can't have it near you or you'll eat the whole bag. And I say like this because really, will you? Okay, you might. Will you do it every time? Will you ever get sick of it? I used to be like that with cookie dough. Salsa and all the veggies, oh yeah. So I would do that with cookie dough. Yeah, but if I allowed myself to eat cookie dough every day, eventually you do get sick of it. And then you're still back to square one, where you're forced to deal with, what am I avoiding? And we've already kind of conquered that in week 2, where we're being really present with when it's time to eat. So if you haven't had a meal yet today, I want you to think, when I get hungry, what am I going to eat? What do I really want? What do I really want right now? If you are hungry right this minute, what are you hungry for? And notice, do you have any kind of shoulds that come up? Oh, I should have this. I should have that vegetable. I should have fruit. Okay, notice it. What shoulds come up? What's the first thing that hits your mind? You're like, I'm hungry. It's just a statement, right? So what's the first thing that pops in your brain after that? Mine is, I should have XYZ. I need to have protein. I need this. I need that. I got to make sure, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. What do I want? What do I really want? Right now, I'm not very hungry, so I can't answer that. But it's like, what do you really want? Anytime you have a hunger craving, and we're going to get into that this week as well, notice when you have a hunger craving, are you craving something specifically? Do you just have a craving in general? Do you feel like you can allow yourself to satisfy that craving, or is it the end of the world? And if it is the end of the world, why not try it? Maybe it's not the end of the world. Now, granted, if you're like craving something you're allergic to, which happens, don't do that. We know better, right? So tip number 5 of week number 4, I know it gets a little messed up here, but eat what you want, what you really want. So when you think about it, we have been, and I'm going to go through some of the article here, some of the guide, is that it seems more often than not only have we forgotten our hunger cues and we don't understand when we're really hungry, we've also been conditioned to eat according to someone else's rules. Clean your plate. You gotta eat your veggies first. Eat every 3 to 4 hours. Eat only afternoon. Carbs are bad. Fat is bad. Throw away the egg yolks. Too much protein will damage your kidneys. Breakfast should be the biggest meal of the day. No sweets! To lose weight, you have to be on a diet. All things in moderation. Huh? These are all rules that come up, right? You guys have some more? Like, please, give me some more if you've heard some more. I mean, these are all things we have been told we should or should not do when it comes to food. Screw it! You are an adult, and you can take care of yourself, and you're going to prove it to yourself this week. I'm excited for you. Here we go. So, it goes on and on and on and on and on. We've been conditioned over the years to have no idea what our bodies are telling us it needs, or what we really want. So, when we calm down, listen to your body. You can hear your body telling you what it wants. Yeah, chicken sounds nice. No, I'm not really in the mood for fish or beef or, rice. I haven't had rice in a minute. Rice sounds good. Well, no, actually, rice would be heavy. Ooh, you know what? Sweet potato. Ooh, and then, wait, pay attention. Just notice. Write it down if you want. So, from the article here, when was the last time you heard that conversation? More than likely, your last conversation with your body over food went something like this. I really want that brownie. No, I don't. I don't need it. It will make me fat. I should eat vegetables. I like vegetables. I like how vegetables make me feel. But they aren't sweet. Maybe I can just have a bite. Just one. Just a piece. No. If I do, I can't stop. I know myself. I don't I don't have willpower. I should eat clean. I should eat chicken breasts and Brussels sprouts with no oil because oil is bad, but that would taste dry like cardboard. So I should listen to what I really want. What do I really want? I want a brownie. Yes, I do. Right? And we go back and forth and on and on and on and on. So on personal experience here, whenever I step back from that internal dialogue and ask myself, do I really want a brownie? Do I really? Will that satisfy me? Is that what I really want? If the answer is yes, I'll ask, am I hungry still? If not, it usually means I'm trying to meet another need that's not hunger with food. So here's another thought. Like, well, won't I get fat if I eat what I want? Maybe. Probably not. Here's why, though. Yes, you absolutely could. I mean, there's a reason that if you ever watch my 600-Pound Life or the 1,000-Pound Sisters or whatever, I can't stop watching those guys. Anybody else on that bandwagon with me? It's just amazing, right? So they don't get that way by chance. They're meeting a need with food, and it's not a hunger need. And what we have done is we've already gotten ourselves present. In week 2, we got ourselves present to pay attention. When we eat, how does it taste? Are we enjoying it? Am I full? Can I push it away? Maybe I can't push it away. Have I ever been full? Do I know what full is like? So we're already tuned into that. Now I'm telling you, whatever food you have that is on your forbidden list, as long as it's not something that's going to kill you like an allergy, right? Okay. So whatever that is, there's a reason you're craving it. I want you to be just as present with that. So if you're watching this, I want you to write what your craving is. If you're okay with that, write down what do you crave? How do you feel when you get that craving, right? So what's your forbidden food? The food you love but you can't have it near you, or you'll eat the whole bag. Hear me out. Go get lots of bags of it. Lots. It's potato chips? Go get lots of bags of potato chips. Hear me out. Pretty soon you'll realize it's always there. You won't run out. You can have it whenever you want it. Sometimes just knowing that you can have it whenever you want it takes the craving away. If there's something that you've been conditioned that's a forbidden thing, having it around you gives you the permission to eat it whenever you want. Okay? So this takes a lot of courage. But what you're doing is staring your demons in the face and saying, I know what's best for me. No one can tell me how to eat better than myself. No one knows me like I do. I know what I should eat. I know what I want to eat. You're not a toddler anymore getting spoon-fed carrots. You can make your own decisions and eat what you want. So this gets into a lot of psychology, but I can tell you from experience that this works. So in the guide here, the next few tips, I'm going to go ahead and give them to you in a sneak peek. They make it easier. So you're going to stop eating when you're truly satisfied. Truly satisfied. Not stuffed. And if that food doesn't satisfy you, just stop eating it right then. Listen to yourself and eat what does satisfy you. Did you want more salt? Do you need crunch? Is it a texture thing? Is it that there's something like when you quote eat healthy, a lot of that healthy food is mushy. And that, it turned out to be for me, it's not that I really want potato chips or that I really want, I don't know, whatever is crunchy. I was craving something crunchy because when you cook broccoli, it gets mushy. Chicken is mushy. Steak is chewy. Sweet potatoes are mushy. A lot of healthy food is friggin' mushy. And it's irritating, right? It can get irritating if you need that variety, right? So that's something that you can pay attention to. Like, okay, so if I like veggies, maybe I just need them raw. Maybe I need something crunchy. Maybe I need something creamy. Maybe it is a texture thing. Is it a heat thing? Do I need more heat? Do I need it hot? Do I need it spicy? Is it more salt? Is it flavored? What is it? What is it that I need? So when you think also about cravings, so as we go along, we're going to have some cravings here. And a craving is a signal that you are in need. So the proverb goes that, somewhere along the way we got our remedies confused. When we were young and we wanted comfort, we would run to get a hug, play with friends when we were lonely, eat when we were hungry, drink when thirsty, cry when sad, invent games when we were bored, and sleep when we were tired. Somewhere in the course of growing up, we found out that just because we needed something, we didn't always get it. So we turned to food, drink, TV, maybe even drugs, whatever gave you pleasure to meet those needs. We confused pleasure with meeting our needs. So to change your habits, you have to go back to the source. Identify your real need and have the courage to meet it instead of substituting food or other things for the answer. Okay, that's also in the guide here. And the last bit I want you to focus on is give yourself permission. What are you afraid will happen if you let yourself eat what you want? And have you ever disproven that? I'm afraid I'll get as big as a house, and I'll get diabetes, and I'll not be able to sleep, and I'll feel miserable, and I won't be able to stop if I eat. My stuff is sweet, so if I just eat tons of ice cream and blah, 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 blah. I'm not as big as a house. I don't have diabetes. I was able to stop. And pretty soon you realize that food is not meeting that need. So, if we are dealing with something here that is trying to meet emotional needs with food, you're going to find this out really quick. But we're already steps ahead, okay? So keep reading this article. Janine Roth, I showed you her books last week. She writes excellent books on this subject about, eating your needs. Yeah, actually. So think about it. I really highly recommend her books. Pull up when you sit at the refrigerator. Pull up when you eat at the refrigerator. Pull up a chair. Something about intuitive eating or overcoming emotional eating, I think was what it was. The two books that helped me the most, I gave them to someone else, and I don't have them. I don't remember what they were, but they helped me get out of a binge eating disorder. And if you're in the Facebook group, you'll see I also included a link to, if you happen to have any disordered eating, there are some links that can help you. But here's the truth. The truth is that you can only eat so much cookie dough before you get sick of it, even if you eat it every day. And eventually your body starts screaming at you what it really wants. Because hey, you say, I want blank, and you go eat blank, and then what? You find out if that really satisfied you or not. So the point is, if you are having food issues and any food is off limits, what do you think you crave? That food. We have no forbidden foods. Again, if you have an allergy, that takes that out. But I'm just so sick. I'll be honest. Like I say in the article here, I'm really mean this. As a trainer, I am so sick of hearing, I can't have it in the house. I'll eat it all. So do it. Will it kill you? No. Will a junk food bender kill you in a week? No, you might feel like crap, but I guarantee you'll get sick of it. I speak from experience. So stop. We've got a couple things here. I want you're gonna get a lot of freedom out of this. I'm really excited for you. Okay, if you're in the group or you're watching this on YouTube or wherever, I want you to write this down, and you can write it down for you. You can write it in the group wherever you feel it's going to be the most helpful. And we're going to get into my favorite tool here. If you want to go ahead and grab it, you can grab it. I've got it. There's a link to it in the group. But this, I think it's in step 7 where we write it down. But if you want to go ahead and grab it, this is my, and it says diet long, whatever. The reason I like it, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the beginning that it helps you. You have 2 days where you write down you write down what time did I have breakfast, what did I eat, and the amount, what was the eating environment, what were the emotions around it, hunger rating, before and after, post-meal insights, and you do that for a couple of days, and then you just start, it really kind of helps this process. So then you start writing things down. Now, I'm not telling you to do this right now because I don't want you to fall into judgment. This is not about judgment, so I don't want you to fall in that trap of being like, especially if you're that person who really likes to get it right and you know what I mean? Give yourself the grace to figure it out. So if you are somebody who loves to write things down but you're afraid you're going to fall into that trap of I've got to XYZ shoulds, hold off on it. But I do want you to write down in the group or for yourself, what are my forbidden foods? What, if I could eat anything in the world right now, what would I want? Write it down. Excuse me. Pardon me. Write it down. Okay? And then I want you to go grab it. I want you to eat it when you want it. Not just because I said to do it, but when you really want it, go eat what you want. Have it on hand. Notice how it makes you feel. Do you feel anxious about it? Do you feel guilty? What feelings come up? How do you feel? Does it satisfy you physically? Are you still hungry? Is it what you really wanted? Can you find yourself being like, do you find yourself shoving it into your face really fast? Trying to not pay attention to the taste of your food? So I want you to go get the food you really want. Eat it slowly. Sit down at the table with it. Not in front of the TV, no books, no phone or anything. Sit down at the table with your forbidden food. Eat it slowly. Notice how, do you like it still? What do you like about it? What are your favorite parts about that favorite forbidden food? What is the thing that you like so much? Do you still like it? How does it make you feel? All those things, right? And I want you to incorporate this week. Eat whatever you really want. Nothing is forbidden. Nothing is off limits. You can take care of yourself, and we're going to prove it to yourself this week. Okay? I'd love for you to share if you feel so inclined in the group, and if not, write it down in a place where you have this kind of journal, because it's kind of going to be, at some point, you're going to be able to go back and be like, wow, I was in a really interesting place with all this food stuff, and this is really interesting. So that's it for today's tip. I hope you get some really great value out of this. I am on your side, and I am super stoked for how this is going to go. So keep up the great work, guys. Keep your spirit of adventurousness, that's the word. Keep up your spirit of exploration and creativity. Judgment has no place here. We're all just on a journey to find out, oh, that's interesting. I had no idea. If you have a thought of judgment, just say thank you, goodbye. No place for that. We're just trying to figure out, oh, I didn't know that. What else do I not know? What else am I learning? A sense of curiosity and fun. And like, okay, if potato chips are your thing and you go and have a bajillion bags of potato chips, write down that experience. I can tell you that when I started doing this, I ate tons of cookie dough and truffles and chocolate bonbons and whatnot, and I got sick of it in about 3 days. It might have been less, I don't remember. But part of my getting over my binge eating disorder actually was allowing myself to binge and being very present with myself when I did it, slowing down, focusing on it, giving myself grace. And instead of just anxiously shoving food in my mouth, I sat there and I said, you're okay. You're going to eat this. Do you want that full spoon of peanut butter? Go ahead. You want another spoon of peanut butter? Okay. Are we done? We're done. Okay. I want this. Okay. Eat it slowly. And so that was my first step in getting out of binging, was allowing myself to binge and being very present with myself while I did it, and being kind to myself instead of beating myself up and being like, you shouldn't do this. This is horrible. Why do you want to do this? I hate how I do this, and blah, blah. And that internal dialogue is just like, you're trying to meet a need. You're trying to soothe yourself. There's something going on. You're doing the best you can. It's okay. And guess what? Eventually I was able to step out of it. And that's not the whole story, but a lot of these things can be rooted in we're not present. We don't know how to get to the root of these things. So I'm excited to find out, what are your forbidden foods? What are the things that you, or maybe not forbidden, maybe you have no forbidden foods, but what are the things you really want to eat? Please share them so we can all eat them. And I love that Ricardo said salsa, veggies, tacos. Oh, tacos sound great. I haven't had tacos in a long time. Fish tacos, any tacos. I know there's like this whole thing about people are just obsessed with tacos. I'm not, but it sounds like fun. So I'm looking forward to being able to cook again when I can cook. But anyway, that's for today. Have a wonderful week. And if you're not signed up for the email group, drop a comment below or send me an email at angela@musicstrong.com with 10-week habit in the subject line, and I will add you to the group, or add you to the email so you get all of this directly to your email box. And if you've not joined the group, please come on over to Facebook. The group is I Am Music Strong. It's off my Music Strong Facebook page. And that's where all the guides live with all the bonus material. So love to have you there. Thanks for joining us today. Good luck.